Hello, my name is Subungsat Brahma. I'm a Data Analyst Intern at Static Academy. I will be explaining the task that I performed in MS Excel and also in SQL Server to get important insights from the available data. So, without wasting any more time, let's start with the video. So, let's start with our first operation. Our first operation says throw a pivot table to get the different types of outlets and their counts. Okay, so I'll take you to the data set. So this is the table I was provided by the StarTech Academy, which had 6 columns in total, but I decided to create one more column because I didn't want to calculate the floating values. I wanted to calculate the integer values. So I rounded off. So after rounding off, I have inserted a pivot table. So here you can see, as you can see, your pivot table. So I have already created. So I don't want to create one more time. Just I'll try to explain how I have done the following task. So yes, here you can see a vertical pivot table. I decided to create a vertical pivot table because it is much easier to understand for the customers and the decision makers. So as per the data you can see, the insights we have found is there are total of 2209 supermarket type 1, followed by that grocery store has 413 total outlets. After that, supermarket type 3 and type 2, and the grand total of it, there are total of 3303 outlets of these four kinds. Let's check our next question, which says draw a pivot table to get the total sales for different outlets. So from the same data set I have inserted one more pivot table, which is pretty conventional pivot table. It's a vertical pivot table only. As for the data we can see, supermarket type 1 has made the highest number of sales, followed by the type 3 and type 2. As we can see from the first vertical table, like from the first pivot table, supermarket type 1 had the highest number of outlets. So it has made the highest number of sales as well. So I have sorted this into largest to smallest for better understanding and for better visibility. So let's see which outlet has met the highest sales on which item type. So here we can see grocery store has made highest sales on snacks, followed by that fruits and vegetables. Here also we can see by sorting out the value largest to smallest fruits and vegetables. Supermarket type 1 has made highest sales on fruits and vegetables, followed by the snacks. And supermarket type 2 has made high sales on snacks and foods. Okay. And supermarket type 3 as well. I think type 3 as well, fruits and vegetables. Highest sales has been made on fruits and vegetables. So we can know that fruits and vegetables has been sold the most, followed by the snacks. Because in the evening people decides to have snacks mostly. These are the insights we have found. You can check here the grand total, everything is there included. So it's very easy to understand from the pivot table and to find out which items has been sold the most, which items has been sold the least. We can see which item has been sold the least from by doing the sorting as well. Smallest to largest, we can check Starkey Foods. Starkey Foods from grocery store from type 2 we can see Seafood has been sold the least in supermarket type 1. Supermarket. The third pivot table, filter out, remove low fat products. So from this, I have to remove low fat products. So what I have done, I have dragged this item fat content to the report filter. So here you can see the report filter bar. Item fat content bar. Here we can see if we say all, we need all of it. This. So here we can see I have selected all. Now if I choose to filter out the low fat, we can see the low fat items, how many items are low fat and how many of them are there in how many of them are sold from the grocery store. We can check the regular as well if we want. Filter out the low fat and check the regular one. These are the regular one. Okay. The last task says add slices for item fat and item type in the last pivot table. So to add slicer, we have to go to insert. Here there is slicer, we have to press, and for which column you want, you can select. So the task says item fat content and item type. So here is our slicers. I'll just reduce the size of it. I'll just drag this here somewhere around here. So here you can see if we press here. So here we can directly check how many items are there. We'll just filter out this one. We'll select everything. So if we press on the slicer, it's like filtering out, but we have the button here to press. So if we press regular items, we can check. Low fat items, we can check. If we want to filter it out, we can click here. If we want to check off any particular item, we can go to item type. So this is the advantage of having a slicer in the pivot table. If you have numerous items of, or say, number of customer IDs, number of customers, number of order IDs, if you want to check particularly, it's very easy using pivot table and these slicers. So that's all from the first task. Let's okay. Let's start with our task two, problem statement one, part two. So this is the profit and loss statement of a company which I have been provided. So let's go for the first question. What is that? It says create a line graph for profit and profit margin for different years. So here I'll create and show you the line graph. I'll delete this first. Just cut it. So I'll create a line graph for this. Sorry. Insert. I'll use line graph. Okay. Here is our line graph. I'll add the data over here. Data label. This looks much better. We'll add the chart title as well. For chart title, we can say profit and net profit margin. Okay. So as per the first question, I've created this. So this is the problem. This is the profit and profit margin table from 2015 to 2020. After creating the line graph, as you can see, there has been a slight increase from the from 2015 to 2016, an increase. It has slightly decreased in 2017. After that again it gradually increased. After that again it declined, and again in 2020 it started increasing. So let's move on to the other task. So the next question says column chart for historical revenue. So for historical revenue, I'll show you the. I've already created the graph. I'll just insert. Sorry. Yes, this looks better. Let's use this. Let's see which one. This one looks better. Okay. These titles, data labels. Okay. This looks better. Now let's see. This is how a historical revenue bar graph, or we can say column chart. As we can see, since 2016 the revenue has been increasing gradually, and it has been anticipated and predicted that it will increase even more in future. So this is the projected revenue from 2020 to 2021. It has slightly increased from 2020 to 2021, as you can see here. The next question says pie chart for expense breakup. So we can see we'll create one pie chart over here of expense breakup. You can see, I will adjust the data labels we'll add on this. Here you can see the expense has been mostly on, highest expense has been spent on cost of goods sold. So this is the highest expense, followed by that advertising, payroll, and other interest, etc. So if you want to see this in the percentage wise, we can use this one as well. Sorry, not this one. Okay, and this one I have created just for the other expense breakup. As you can see here, also highest expense has been spent on 68,865 on utilities, followed by the depreciation, other, and income tax. So let's move on to the other task. Here it says main expenditure item target plus a target versus achieved. So here is the graph. So I'll just remove this one and just create one more. I'll just insert this, and I'll just use this one. I'll just flip switch rows this one. Okay. I'll just add the data labels over here and exist titles. I'll just remove text. Here we can see, as per the target says 30,000, 21,000, 70% has been achieved in advertising, and in payroll 61% has been achieved. Target was 27,000, and they have achieved 2,70,000, and the achieved is, and the target they have achieved is 1,65,000. So I'll move on to the other task now. Create charts of other metrics. No. So I was asked to create a dashboard of all these four charts. So in this you can see the dashboard of all the charts I've created. Here we have profit and profit margin, target versus achieved, expense breakup, and historical revenue. Okay, and I've created some more. This is the expense and profit and loss statement from the first sheet. Now I'll take you to the SQL Server Management Studio, which where I have performed the various queries using these two datasets. So first and foremost, I've created an IPL database. You can see over here, and I've imported I have imported those two datasets over here. As you can see, deliveries and matches. So as per the task of all this, you can see from first to fourth, it says create a table name matches and with appropriate data types. The second says table name deliveries with appropriate data types and import the CSV file. This I have done and you have seen over here. I'll run the query and I'll show you. First I'll run this too. Yes, over here this in this results pane you can see that it has loaded properly without any issues. Now we'll move on to the other task. The fifth one, it says select the top 20 rows of the deliveries table. Select the top 20 rows of the matches table. So over here I have used the top clause. As you can see, top 20 to fetch the data of all the top 20 rows from both the table. Now I'll run this query. Here you can see the result. I'll run each at once. Each at once. You can see over here the result. See, yes, we got the output as 20 rows has been affected. You can see over here. The second one will run and see. Yes, here also 20 rows have been affected. Okay, now we'll move on to the other task. The other task says fetch data of all the matches played on 2nd May 2013. Okay, so matches played on 2nd May 2013. So here I have used where clause as well, and these are column date column, and this is the value we have inserted here. So we'll run this query and we'll check. So after running this query, I found that in the city Chennai and Pune, the matches have been played in respected respected stadiums, and the matches were between these four teams. First, first match was played between Chennai Super Kings and Kings 11 Punjab. Pune Warriors. Second match was Pune Warriors and Royal Challengers Bangalore. Now we'll move on to the other task. Our eighth task is fetch data of all matches where the margin of victory is more than 100 runs. Okay, I'll show. So here also I have used where clause as well. I have used the asterisk over here because I want to see the data with all the columns. So basically you can see over here, I'll take you to the column result margin. Here you can see it's greater than or equal to 100 actually. So total of 9 matches where result margin has been more than 100 or equal to 100. Let's move on to the other task. The ninth task says fetch data of older matches where the final scores of both teams tied and order it in. Order it in the sense we can choose. I have chosen to do in descending order. So for that I have used order by. With where close we can always use order by or order by close as well. So let's check our condition and we'll execute this one. Yes. So the final scores of both teams tied and order it in. So the draw, how many matches was were tied in between. We can check over here in the column, result column. Here over here we have the all the matches which were where the result was tie. So you can check over here. Total of 13 matches where the results have been tied. So I have ordered it in descending order. Descending order. Okay. So date wise you have chosen. So date I have chosen as the descending order factor because the date is the one which distincts the value. Now we'll check this. The other task is get the count of cities that have hosted an IPL match. Okay. For that I have used aggregate function which is count, and I wanted to count distinct city. That means if we count city, your result comes a different wise. 866 of total. This is the repeated one. So I didn't want it's a problem for us if it repeats. So we'll check distinct count of which total of 33 cities. In total of 33 cities, the IPL matches have been played. So formed to find out more insights from the following data sets. As you can see here, I wanted to know in each city how many matches have been played and in which city the highest matches have been played. So here in the results window you can see Mumbai. In Mumbai the highest number of matches have been played, followed by that Kolkata, Delhi, Bangalore. And as we know that in Bangalore, Mumbai and Chennai, it shows that the highest number of spectators come from these cities. I wanted to know how many matches have been played in those cities. So total of 223 matches have been played out of 816 in these three cities. So after that, I've run this query, which where I wanted to know how many batsmen and yeah, who are the batsmen and their names. I wanted to find out. So here we can see these are the names of all the batsmen who have played between 2008 and 2020. So these are the bowlers, name of the bowlers. And here we have the number of batsmen that have played between 2008 and 2020. 323 it says. So here we can see the number of bowlers. Number of bowlers is 240 bowlers have played between 2008 and 2020. And this is where I wanted to see which player have earned the title of highest MVP between in the 816 matches. So the AB de Villiers has the highest number of MVPs, 23 total. Chris Gale, followed by the RG Sharma, MS Dhoni. And the next one is I wanted to know which team has won the most matches. So run this query first. So in the results window, we can see Mumbai Indians have won the highest number of matches, followed by the Chennai Super Kings and Kolkata Knight Riders. And the last one is highest delivery by a single bowler. So we'll run this query. See, IK Patan has the highest number of deliveries between 2008 and 2020 IPL matches. So his number is total of 1,379 total deliveries, followed by that P. Kumar, R.P. Singh, P.P. Ola. So that's all. That was my SQL task. So I'm very thankful to Static Academy for giving me the internship opportunity to learn and explore the corporate culture. The things I've learned from these internships are professional communications and networking. In professional communications, I would like to say that working in a professional setting for the first time was difficult for me, but it has been the way for me to learn how to navigate the working world through real life hands on experience. And networking has been one part of the internship, most important part. So, through this internship, I got to know other interns as well and connected with some of them on LinkedIn. I have they also done well with this internship and also gained various knowledge from this internship, which will which may help them in the future while hunting for job or looking for next internship in some other company. So at last, I would like to thank one more time to the Started Academy. It was a great opportunity to gain experience and make friendships and learn.